So, first, one thing that happened when I had my MS taught me, I learned to. I don't like talking to myself. To the camera. Uh, I had learned to take my time. MS taught me to take my time. Since I was diagnosed, I learned to take my time. Since I've been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, also I've learned to things into perspective more. And unfortunately, being a, I guess, young dude, um, I've learned with MS also that with experience, of course, I learned with MS that there's no need to rush. You're only in this yourself, not others. Well, I don't know if that makes sense. Although this may seem maybe like an unfortunate, or I might seem unlucky to have that diagnosis, I think that, or anyone that has that diagnosis, MS is also a reason to do things, not just burning yourself out and struggling to do something that doesn't have really a lot of merit. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've also, it's sure, it made me focus on what I can do and not try to pursue something that is just a picture that might be delusional. Still, we learn, we get experience through life. Um, that sounds like a really deep talk, but MS also sure did take away some things from me, but it gave me so much, even though I didn't look back then like it was something meaningful, which I would be grateful for. Of course, MS is not really being diagnosed with anything is not something to be really that proud of. Said to me that been diagnosed with this is like a superpower, and like looking back now, yeah, I think it could make sense, because when you relate to a superhero like Batman, maybe it's a fear that pushes you to do things, and like a superpower, meaning that it's something that MS would be, or any diagnosis or any unfortunate event, it could be something that makes you stronger. I don't want to sound too cliche, but you know, if I take the good way, MS, so it could be a good thing, of course. A good thing. Sorry. No, it's not a good thing. It's something that allows us to grow with it. It doesn't force us to be something that we're not. My eyes look ginormous again, thyroid thing, but I'm talking about MS. Anyways, that diagnosis, because you know, through life, whatever happens, you know, we move forward and we don't stop, especially when you're young, or even if you're older, you know, it's, we just have to keep going, keep on going, even if it's maybe frustrating at times. It's okay to be angry sometimes, I think, but it's also okay to be angry, but it's also okay to be angry and wish to keep moving forward and pushing through something that, which is strange, but I'm having a lot of fun. Also, talking, of course, I talked about my story, but I was diagnosed since I've been going to music, well, to college, and I've been diagnosed with MS, which I did not know at the time was a chronic illness that was irreversible, and doctors did not know what the the when you grow up and you start being with this thing, I'm gonna call it a thing, um, um, you also learn resilience, and you also learn to keep moving forward, even if maybe at times you have to, how can I say it? maybe makes you slow down a bit, but it doesn't mean you can't arrive to the finish line. It just means you have to arrive differently. I don't know why why I made those moves. Um, I've been diagnosed at college, and doctors in 2015, or back when I was 17, I was diagnosed with MS and started my first DMT. I was no more considered a child, a child. I was considered like an adult, which mentally I wasn't ready for treatment and that diagnosis and the progression. But we learn to grow up with it, and that's a good. That's maybe good. That's good. I didn't quit. My goal, my vision of wanting to be a better pianist or musician, artist. I'm doing the RCM Grade 9 certification, which is just the beginning of, it's pretty much like college, music college level, but doing it with the RCM. So it's structured differently. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun making those moves. But what I learned about music is that it has a lot of therapeutic effects on the brain. Music therapy or musicotherapy. I think it's music therapy. But it has a lot of benefits. It's simply listening to music has benefits on the brain. And so can you imagine just practicing a musical instrument? That's huge. Since I've been diagnosed with MS, so people with MS were fine to have a vitamin D deficiency, and D vitamin D deficiency meaning, is it that we don't go outside enough? Dr. Aaron Boster talks about this also. He talks about the importance of going outside and getting supplements of high dose vitamin D for people who have multiple sclerosis, because it was found that people with MS have a vitamin D deficiency more likely than people who don't have MS. Do they understand why? I'm not sure about that. I'd prefer to let it to a doctor, but I did some research on it. Vitamin D3 more specifically during winter times, it's harder to get vitamin D the further from the equator you are, and it was found that vitamin D deficiency, of course, is more present in countries that are further from the equator, and we go outside less often. And the brain as well. The immune system and the brain are part of the most complex entities of the entire human body, but you know, I'm not really a doctor, so I'll leave it to Dr. Aaron Boster. I think he's legitimate.
Learning about MS with me, Aaron
But
Boster.
a lot of, I know that through the internet it's easy to look at gurus, look at people that say they know it all, but they don't really. Because, I mean, the facts are there. I would not trust a doctor that studied Wikipedia instead of med school. That's just fact. It's a lot. We don't tend to absorb that much anyways. I think she told me it was like 600 units or something. That was like the normal range. But you know, people with MS are special. So I was going to talk about the resilience behind MS and what it allows us. Resilience is basically, according to Wikipedia, if I remember it's right, it's the ability for the brain to just keep moving forward, not worry too much. I'm putting it in my words, but look at the Wikipedia. If you want, you can read it. But it's basically, resilience is the capacity of moving on, even, for example, something hard happens. we default back to normal faster. And what I also learned was that practices such as meditation, you don't need to do meditation, but it can help with resilience. Also, because resilience is basically going from one state to another. If you don't have it, you don't have it. No, I don't believe in that cliche thing. I don't know if it is, but it probably is. Resilience is the ability to move forward. Yeah, it's the ability to listen to yourself, but not being attached to some past self for too long. I'm putting in my words, but I think I think I gave a small idea, maybe. There's also this guy Davidson, I already forgot. But Davidson, he's a professor at Stanford University, if I'm not mistaken. He talks about, he's a professor at in psychology, I think, or psychiatry. He talks about that and resilience, the ability to be present, and the benefits meditation has. I know it sounds I sound pretty biased towards meditation, but yeah, I don't know, like, it's easier to get distracted nowadays and to just like move here and there and be automatically, you know, like having ADHD. The benefits of music training, I did not do research, but music, I stop, but music, I stop, yeah, but music is pretty much like meditation, or it can be any other skill, either it be learning a language, doing something that really puts someone into a flow state.